Hey guys, Ryan Melrose here, welcome to today's video, and yes, I'm wearing the pro wrestling shirt, just as a personal reminder to myself to not give up, especially in opening my own pro wrestling training academy someday, which last year I was almost successful. Nearly had a place in a ring and everything. The only problem was the owner didn't want us taking bumps in the ring, and it was a boxing ring too, so I wasn't really sure I wanted trainees taking bumps in a boxing ring. Ouch. So, we're still on the drawing board, so I basically made the decision that I simply just got to get a place of my own and buy my own professional wrestling ring, and, maybe I can run my training academy from my own house. At least that's the basic plan right now, so everything is sort of working towards that goal and dream of mine. And maybe someday, maybe I'll get my own building, who knows. Who knows what the future holds, but anyway, that's not the purpose of today's video. Today's video, we're looking at self-defense strikes and some tips on when you should use them, when you should go preemptive against an attacker. Now, people might argue that going preemptive is not self-defense, but I beg to differ. I look at it more as it's a counter-attack. To me, that's exactly what it is, a counter-attack. I'm standing here minding my own business, and I get some person who's in my face, he's moving around trying to circle me. Alright, so naturally, I'm following him to make sure he doesn't set up any shot. First thing I'm doing is, I'm moving, making it hard for him to set up that shot, and I'm trying to talk him down, verbally diffuse, doing all the right things. Alright, but now, I notice him angle off like this, like he's ready to throw that strike. Or throw a quick jab, or he's angling off like this to throw a quick jab, or throw a haymaker, or come in for a wild shot, or he's concealing his hand like he's going to pull something out. I see anything suspicious like that, anything I don't like, I would be striking. In fact, if he's even trying to touch me, I'm moving, trying to stay out of that range, because I know, because when people technically grab the shirt, pretend there's someone there and I got their shirt, this crap starts happening. Or, if I'm the aggressor, I shove some guy and then I'm coming in with that punch immediately after. A lot of people go down that way. So I see anything I don't like, I'm going to come in striking. And so anything that's making me feel that he's about to strike, then I'm going to move in first and make sure to stop him. So here are some lightning quick strikes that should help you out should you find yourself in situations like that. Now, first of all, did you notice the way I was standing? Now, when I'm standing even to myself waiting at the bus stop, I always got my backpack on and I'm always holding the straps like this. Why? Because my hands are already up to defend myself, and it's easy for me to bring my hands out here in this more passive stance, like I'm trying to verbally diffuse. If he attacks, anyway, it's relatively easy for me to block and enter and strike back. And another thing is that one of my legs, when I'm standing around with the backpack on, one of my legs is always forward. So, if he does go in to shove me, boom! I'm still passive, I'm still talking him down, but I'm already in my fighting stance. Saying that if I was going in for the strikes, I've come into a fighting stance. This one, this shorter one where my foot's forward, is to keep me on balance for if he does try to shove me around and push me around and things. I can easily get in my fighting stance and start striking. My hands are already up here to where his face is all that. I can do that. I can start off a low line kick. I can go into his face. I could low line kick, go with his face and clinch, get in close, maybe get behind him, establish chest to back. And now all of that, and the way I strike and the way I move, was not rehearsed. I didn't think of that before this video. What I just did then was natural. It was an automatic response. And that's what I'm hoping to bring you here. So get 1 foot slightly forward, and let's say you've already got somebody in your face and you're already bringing your hands out. So a first strike would be like a palm, basic palm of the face. Assuming your attack is taller than you, you'd be going up. No different than throwing uppercuts. No different than throwing a hook. And just to be clear, we're making contact with this part of the palm, ideally. We're not slapping them, even though those can be painful too. Alright guys? Of course. So again, very telegraphic, and probably one of the first strikes that I'd probably use in a situation, because it's quick. My hand is already, ideally, pretty close to where my aggressor's face is going to be, and I shoot, and I'm following his arms, watching where his arms are going, doing this, so making sure that he's not doing some sort of fake thing and then coming up with one of those. That's the idea of that. And also following that hand, if he's going for a weapon, you can easily step in like that and immediately trap that weapon hand and coming in with a blade strike of the forearm. One of my favorites. So that's another one strike. Forearm. Step in. Boom. Step in. Boom. Step in. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. So yes, so that's one. I've just given you that one. Now again, I prefer open-handed because it's easy for me to strike my attacker and easily clinch, like I was doing before. So yes, another one, another type of palm is going around that way. No different than when you're throwing a hook. Same thing. Let's say you're walking here, okay, and you really know your angles. Okay, he's starting to angle off. Boom, right into his face. So yep. So just start off with those. Get in front of the mirror and practice. So they are passive. You visualize. You're talking. You're verbally trying to diffuse. You recognize the move and go quick. Start with those. Another strike, you can go and start adding things. But do get a foundation of how the strikes work. So definitely change it up and do a couple of these as well, straight up. Now look how quick that is. Okay, talk, aggressive move. Talk, aggressive move. Talk, aggressive move. That's quick. If I'm coming in for one of these ones now in MMA, they do these ones. Now why? They do gather a lot of power and hurt like hell when they hit. Actually, possibly even a knockout shot. It's still way too telegraphic. So when I'm here, and when he makes any suspicious move I don't like, and I choose to use this elbow, see, not telegraphic, straight like that. And I'm also moving off to the side, which is good, because then I can come in with other techniques. So full speed I might look like this. So picture this is the head. Hitting, kneeing, kicking, whatever I got to do to stop this fight. So I've given you those. I've given you those. I've given you both of these elbows. Another one. Double palm. Excellent first strike. Just come in here, straight out. And you can do that from any position, so maybe not here, maybe arms there. One hand behind the other. It's really quick. So practice those. A really good striking drill you can do if you've got a partner. Have him hold like a basketball in front of you. Close your eyes. Have him move it around. And basically the second you open your eyes, wherever the basketball is, just strike it. And strike it any way you can. So let's say I had a training partner, he's putting the ball in front of me. And he puts it wherever, and I open my eyes. Instantly come up, strike that any way you can. Doesn't have to be that. It could be here. Like if it was where it was a second ago, you could do it that way. You could hammer fist him that way. You could double palm it. Whatever. So when you do that, automatically hit it, close your eyes, and have him do it again, putting the ball somewhere different each time. So as soon as you open and you see it, automatically go for it. And this will help with training an automatic response. Now another drill you can do, this is one I like to do. If you really want to get that automatic flow of striking, like that. Like that wasn't some specific combination that I knew. That was just me mixing the strikes up randomly. And it's automatic. To develop that, you can start by doing these drills. Now, you can do it from the passive stance here, or you can start doing it from here or here. Oh yes, another good strike, of course, would be simply lower the head and headbutt your attacker. However, be careful doing this, because if your attacker's shorter than you, you could probably end up doing more damage to yourself than him. But if he's taller and you go in, chances are you're going to do a lot of damage. You could actually, I'm not guaranteeing this because I don't believe one technique ends the fight, but you could possibly knock out your attacker with a headbutt. But again, I don't train that way. If I throw the headbutt, I'm still coming in with the other strikes to make sure. Alright, so here's another drill you can do. This is one you can do solo if you don't go a training partner. And so what you do is, from whatever position, could be like this. Could even hold the backpack. Whatever position feels natural to you. And start with one strike. Any strike you want. Any strike you want. So, okay, so I started with that elbow. Alright, so do that a few times, 5 to 10 times. Now, if you do have a training partner who can actually hold some pads out for you to hit when you're doing this, even better. Alright, so that's about 5 times. So now, I want to add something else. So, front palm. And every now and again you're changing up and add something. So, hammer fist. And basically, just keep doing that as much as you can. Keep trying to add things in until you can't anymore. So yeah, that's about it for the self-defense side of things I wanted to cover today. And so yeah, and again, I'm wearing this shirt to remind myself that yeah, don't give up. Don't give up, because I still want to, like I said, I still want to open up my own pro wrestling training academy. And, like, funny story enough, like, I almost successfully opened UNW. That was going to be the name of my promotion. And, well, the story goes, back in February, I had injured myself training at IPW. I still have my suspicions about that. I still think that I can't even think of the words for it. And it just felt like someone had pushed my leg. But I've learnt enough about myself to trust my gut. My gut tells me that yeah. Anyway, I'm not going into that. Anyway, bottom line is, once my ankle recovered, I couldn't go back to IPW anyway, because I couldn't afford my fees, my rent had gone up, and it's gone up again now, so I definitely can't go back to IPW now. And that is, even if they would even have me, because I know they knew I was trying to open up my own organization. I know the boss had caught wind of it, which was really pointless me removing the videos I had posted about it, because he had already found out anyway. Anyways, so, but yeah, the bottom line is, me trying to open up my own promotion last year was it was quite the learning experience, and I'm still quite proud of myself for trying, and I haven't given up. I'm definitely going to try again, but now I'm trying to be a bit smarter about it. And you know, I actually, like I said earlier in the video, if I actually got to that point, I actually nearly succeeded in getting a place to train established. There was a gym in Harbour Town, and they had a ring in their gym, so I started inquiring about it. Now, I understood it was a boxing ring. And well, I have no experience with boxing rings, so I actually went there and checked it out. Now, the only problem was after I checked it out, the owner of the gym didn't want us doing any slams or any practices like that in the ring, because he was afraid it was going to get broken down and fallen apart. Which, well, as it turns out, boxing rings are really hard. So yeah, I did take a couple of test bumps in the ring. So yeah, it was definitely strong enough to for wrestlers and for our training purposes, for what they were going to be. But yeah, ultimately he didn't want us doing any bumps in the ring, so after I took it to the vote with the other wrestlers who were supposed to be helping me with this, which is the other reason my first attempt over my promotion failed. They bailed on me, and fair enough. I'm not the kind of dickhead who's going to write up contracts and say, no, you have to stay here and help me, or no, you have to stay here and perform for me. You signed a contract. No, I'm not going to be doing anything dicky like that. My role, if I actually get around to opening up UNW, it's going to be to get trainees in the right direction. Give them all their fundamentals, get them all the amazing training that was given to me by Peter the Hawk Ball himself. I was trained by Peter the Hawk Ball himself, and I really want to pass down the knowledge he gave me to these new trainees. at least that way I know that when they move on to other promotions, and they will, in fact I'll be making the phone calls myself and helping them on their way in that regard, that at least they'll be able to look after themselves in the ring and prevent themselves from getting serious injuries. Like all I got that time when I was last training was I twisted my ankle. That was it, and that's nothing compared to other injuries you can get. And well, I can think of a million reasons why the ankle injury happened, but the bottom line is it was an accident. Accidents happen. All right. And sometimes things like that happens to the best professional wrestler. If you're wrestling professionally, you're going to get injured. It's the point. Anyway, so yeah, so the bottom line is so yeah, we decided not to go with that gym because it's kind of defeats the purpose if we can't even practice basic takedowns and things like that in the ring. We can train on mats at the park to if that's the case, and back when I was a trainee and I was training, well, not back when I was first training. When I was first training with IPW, we were training in the ring back in 2008. But a few years later, we switched to the mats, and ultimately, training on the mats was actually a pretty good thing because it actually helped improve our wrestling. Because if you could do spots, do the whole jump up and get slammed around on the mats, then you can easily do that do those feats in the ring. At least I'm pretty sure that was Peter the Pork Ball's mentality of that at the time. And, yeah. Well. But yeah. My last training session was in a ring, just to be clear. So yeah, from 2008 all the way to 2022, that's when I had my last match. 2008 was also when I had my first in-ring appearance. So those are the years I've been active. So yeah, I've learnt a lot about my first attempt of trying to open up my own promotion. And so basically I'm taking things in a different direction this time. For starters, I've started investing whatever bits of my money I end up saving. I've started buying assets like precious metal, things like that, and hoping that'll help me with buying my own wrestling ring and hopefully getting my own place where I can start advertising and holding training sessions. And the other purpose for this is so I've got a place to go and keep up training in my skills, because that's the other reason I'm doing this. And by helping others train, it's gonna keep me trained up as well. And it's not just gonna be I don't want my training academy just to be for any of my trainees who come here. Like, let's say if Impact Pro Wrestling Australia had one of those really bad COVID months and had to close down for a while, couldn't do any shows or anything like that without risk of spreading COVID. At least my spot would be open for some of the trainees who can keep training and making sure they're not developing any ring rust and things like that. Because that's the other reason I want to start it up. It's kind of like the old fishing metaphor. You know how in fishing they say you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach him, he eats forever. Well, in my case is if I borrow someone's wrestling ring, and by that I mean like joining a new promotion, doing what they want to do until I can't afford my fees anymore, which might last me a month, which is exactly it. I train and wrestle a month. But if I had my own ring, I wrestle and train forever. And I get to give something back to the pro wrestling industry, an industry that has given me so much. You know, Peter the Hawk Ball, I'll be honest, the man was like a father to me. Even more so to my own old man. I hate saying that and I hate admitting that, but it's true. Yeah. He's the one who taught me to stand up for myself in things and not let others take advantage of me and things like that, and he made me strong. He made me strong. And you know what? If I can give something like that to my trainees, or even to you guys who are checking out the self-defense videos here, then I'm already doing a hell of a job. So, anyway, thanks for sticking with me for the self-defense tips, of course, and enjoying story time. And yeah, I'll be back again with more of these, and let me know in the comments if you do actually want to see more of these. And like I said, if you're looking for more self-defense strategies, and quite frankly, with perfectly qualified trainers who can explain these self-defense strategies a hell of a lot better than me, check out Code Red Defense or Nick Drosso's Tactics. Because yeah, Code Red Defense is run by Nick Drossos, and Nick Drossos also has his Nick Drossos Self-Defense Tactics channel as well. And it's filled with all sorts of realistic training scenarios, self-defense strategies, and it's same place I got my self-defense strategies. So, as always, thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you guys next time.